We want to say a couple things about our first speaker tonight. She is a mother. She is a wife. She is an all-around great person with many different skills. She loves to have fun and loves to help people. She definitely knows how to earn some money through a home-based business, being that she is in the top 5% of income earners out of over 20,000 active agents right now. And more importantly, she has 100% of the information that you need to learn about this business. So without further ado, I'd like to present to you Gold Builder Kenzie King.
Thanks, David. I appreciate that. You make me look good. So thank you. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just get started. I'm going to share my screen with you tonight for our presentation. Let me get that started for you. There we go. Okay. All right, now tonight we're going to be talking about two different business opportunities. One of them is Plannet Marketing and the other is InteleTravel. And this first portion will be about InteleTravel, which is obviously the travel side of the business. So as we're going along, I'd like you to imagine in your life the financial freedom that you're after, also the freedom of, just personal time, personal growth, personal experiences. And then also imagine the time freedom you can get by having a home-based business. I talk about my daughter often, and she is the reason that I started this home-based business, because I appreciate the fact that if I want to, she and I can go and play at the park whenever we feel like it, or go, watch some silly kid movie on TV if we want to. I can put my work down and I can be with her and, do what we need to do that way. And I love that I can stay home with her and not have to send her to daycare, because I want to see all her first things and her, her learning experiences. So for me, I did imagine a better way to get my time freedom, and I think I found it with this at-home business. So I'm really happy about that. Now tonight, let's talk about how we can design our ideal lives with Plannet Marketing and having your own home-based business. We're going to talk about how we can earn more having a home-based business, travel more, which is always awesome, and save more on what people are doing anyway and what you possibly are doing anyway, which is travel, and experience more. Experience more in your life rather than being stuck, on the daily grind. If you work from home, you do have the flexibility to go do things that you want and have the experiences you want more, because you're your own boss. You can up and go when you want. Now, who are we? That's a good thing to know. This is Mr. James Ferrara. He is the InteleTravel co-founder and president. And this gentleman he's been recognized in the travel industry as an expert for over 25 years. So that's a good long time to, a quarter of a century is a good long time to be in one specific industry. InteleTravel is based in Delray Beach, Florida. So it's a USA-based business, which I always love and appreciate. And InteleTravel does have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Now, that rating is, not only difficult to get, but it's difficult to maintain. So it's pretty amazing that InteleTravel has maintained that rating for as long as they have. InteleTravel is the original home-based travel agent business. So that's pretty cool too, to know that they are the first, and they've pretty much paved the way for this industry, and we're lucky that we're part of it. InteleTravel is partnered with Plannet Marketing. So InteleTravel sells travel, and Plannet Marketing sells travel agency businesses. So that's important to know if you're thinking about doing both sides of the business. Mr. James Ferrara says that, we offer an experience in travel beyond anything you've ever had, and we bring the fun back and added income. So, can't be sad about having fun and added income in your life. InteleTravel has been awarded many recognitions and, gotten a lot of industry awards. We've got, like I mentioned, the Better Business Bureau. We're associated with with CLIA, with Globus Brands. You can see all these different companies here that we're associated with, Norwegian Cruise Lines, Princess Cruise Lines, and these are all really big names in travel. And so it's great that they recognize us as a reputable company and that they want to work with us. Now, being a travel agent, it really does have so many possibilities, because we're not limited to the type of travel that we can book. We can book cruises, we can book rental cars, we can book sporting events, pretty much anything you can think of that requires some kind of reservation and ticketing, we can book that and get a commission off of it. So we like to book group cruises, such as family reunions, common interest groups, also weddings, other type of group travel, church retreats, fraternities and sororities. Those are all really fantastic things for us to book as travel agents. And they're good, good groups of people to target for travel, like sports teams and, corporate retreats. Those are always really nice because there's a lot of people going on them. So that means a higher commission. Now, travel is a huge industry. I'm sure you all know that. It's an $8 trillion annual industry, and it's only projected to grow within the next 10 years, almost to double. So $15 trillion, I mean, that's a huge number to wrap our heads around. But if you think about the entertainment industry and also the, like sporting, like NFL and NBA and that type of thing, all of those are in the billions. And travel has surpassed them and hit the trillions. So it's a huge industry. It's not going anywhere. If anything, it's going to just keep growing and keep being profitable. Now, I'll always love this one because it said that travel is the #1 research category online, and the time frame that these searches are happening are between the hours of 9 to 5. Now, I'm sure that you all know that most people are at work between the hours of 9 to 5. Most people. So they're sitting in their cubicle, right, writing these memos, and they're like, this is not as fun as I hoped my life would be, sitting in their cubicles. So they get online and they do a search for, some kind of fabulous vacation, and they take a little mental vacation while they're at work. So people are always thinking about travel. It's on their minds. If they're not doing it now, they probably wish they were. One demographic of people who are traveling a lot right now are the baby boomers. And the reason for this, that they're fueling the growth in the industry, is because they're retiring. They've come to the age of retirement where, they've worked hard, they saved up their money, and they want to travel. They want to travel to nice places. They're not going to stay in some seedy motel to save $20. They're going to travel, and they're going to travel nice. And so baby boomers, there's so many of them. It's said that there's one baby boomer will retire every 20 seconds for the next 20 years. So that is a huge group of people for us to focus ourselves to, because they love to travel. Another group that is traveling a lot right now are the millennials. They like to have, it's a bit of a different experience we're finding than the baby boomers. They like to have the more adventurous, zip lining, whitewater rafting, those type of vacations. But they are spending quite a bit on travel as well. So those are two really great demographics for us to market to. Again, I mean, everyone travels, but those are the two big groups right now. Now, we like to get paid on what people are doing anyway, which is travel. And like I said, almost everyone is traveling or wishes they were. I don't know if you all know this, but when you book your own travel online, if that's something that you do, let's say you go to Expedia, for example. If you go on Expedia and book a trip, you are paying a travel agent rate, because travel agent commission is built into all travel, whether or not the travel agent books it or not. So you may as well use a travel agent. You don't have to pay extra for it, for the most part. You may as well use a travel agent, make sure all the bases are covered, and you get everything that you need. And save yourself the work and the time too. With InteleTravel, we are partnered with major vendors worldwide, and these are vendors like I mentioned some of them earlier: Princess Cruise Line, Carnival Cruise Line, Norwegian, Marriott Hotels, Hilton Hotels, Disney. Everyone loves Disney, right? And it's really great that we're partnered with them, and that they have we have a good relationship with them. They like us to call and book with them because obviously we're sending business their way, and we like to book with them because they're familiar with us and they help us with the booking. So it's really a good relationship between the vendors and InteleTravel. Now, there are no third-party intermediaries, and what that means is that there's no one that stands between the vendor and your money. So that's really a benefit as well. InteleTravel reserves, at the beginning of the year, they reserve these big group blocks of cruise blocks. So they'll reserve, X amount of cabins on a cruise ship. And the great thing about this is, let's say you have a customer that wants to take this particular cruise in the middle of the summer and they want to go to Alaska. Well, if that customer goes and checks on that cruise, they may find that it's sold out. And so, they'll come to you and they'll say, my daughter just joined us. They'll say, I really want to take this cruise, but it's sold out. Well, lucky for us, some of the reason that cruise may be sold out is because InteleTravel has already reserved those blocks. So, if your customer comes to you and, they want to go on that cruise, you can most likely get them on that cruise. And even better is you'll probably be able to get them a better rate because it's reserved as a group rate, which is always cheaper than individual rates. So you look pretty fancy and pretty special for getting them on that sold out cruise. InteleTravel has fantastic customer support and service. If we ever have any questions or ever need anything, we can call them, we can email them, we can do an online chat with them and get our questions answered, through any of those avenues. And so that's really nice to know that they're there for us whenever we need it. Now this 70 to 80% of commissions paid to ITA that's listed up here, let me talk about that real quick. Let's say that you do book a trip with Disney. Disney pays us a 10% commission. So if the trip is $5,000, obviously you'll earn $500 commission. So that $500 goes to InteleTravel, and then they will go ahead and give you 70 to 80% of that $500 as your commission. And that 70 to 80% depends on how much you have earned in commission throughout your year with InteleTravel. And so that's how, if you get over $5,000 in commission, then your percentage rate goes up another 10%, which is really fantastic. When you enroll with InteleTravel, immediately you get a personalized website, and it has an amazing email and marketing program. And this is just all set up already in your back office for you. You don't have to do anything except go on there, click a few links and send these marketing emails to your customer. So let's say you have a customer who really loves Jamaica, say Jamaica. And if you see a deal come up for Jamaica, they're always really beautiful. They're really great graphics and, made up really nice. So all you have to do is personalize it with your business name and your customer's name and send it to them and say, hey, I remembered that you enjoy and want to go to Jamaica. Here's a deal we have going on right now for that. Get back with me and we can talk about more details regarding that. So it's all pretty much made for us. We just have to send it out. We also have printed materials we can send out, like postcards, different sales tools, pamphlets, things like that. So I love that all of that is already set up for us and we don't have to deal with that as, a different part of our business because it's already all set. Now, I'm sure you're wondering how much you can earn as a travel agent. So let's talk about that. That's the good stuff, right? So let's imagine that you have a frequent business traveler that you know. This person stays 3 nights in a hotel 3 times a month. And this is strictly for a hotel stay, not a flight or anything else. This business traveler, you can send them, you can give them your web address, and they can go onto your site and book their own travel. You don't have to lift a finger, and you will earn a commission for that. And it's really great because, if you have this customer coming on repeatedly, you'll repeatedly get commission, and you don't even have to do the work for it. Because if they're going to be booking on, say, Expedia or something like that anyway, they may as well book on your site and let you gain the commission for that. For something like this, you can earn a commission of over $150. So $151 for you just telling someone your website. Now that's pretty great. I'd be, heck, that's awesome. You get a few of those a month and they really add up. They really do. Now this next example is a 5-day golf trip in Scottsdale, Arizona for 4 people. Now it doesn't even necessarily have to be a golf trip. This can be a ski vacation. This can be a yoga retreat. This can be a go hang out on the beach and relax and do nothing trip, just for 4 people. So really all you have to do for this is, find out where the people want to go, what their budget is, what type of place they want to stay. And then you gather all the information, their personal information, like, credit card info, birthday, names, addresses, all that type of thing. And once you have both agreed on a place and a budget, then you input that information. Takes maybe, imagine 2 hours to do something like this. If you've ever booked a trip for yourself, this is no different other than you're using someone else's credit card and you're putting someone else's name in. So it's really no mystery on how to book travel, but it's awesome when the commission comes to you instead of you just, paying out for a trip. Now, the 5-day golf trip example, you could earn a commission of over $200, $274 for this one booking per month. Now, I don't know about you, but I've never worked a job where I make over $200 an hour. So it's pretty amazing that you can make this kind of earnings as a travel agent. Now let's continue on to the honeymoons. 7-day honeymoon, all-inclusive resort in Cancun, complete with butler service. Guess who went to Cancun on their honeymoon? Guess who was not a travel agent at the time, so didn't get a commission? That's also me. Now, if I had been a travel agent and booked my own honeymoon, it would have been sweet to get a commission back off of that. These might take a little more time because you've got to, there's a few more probably back and forth with your customer because, it's a honeymoon, once in a lifetime type thing. So again, all you have to do is put in the, the couple's name and address and make sure they have all the amenities they want in their hotel and in their vacation. And for this type of thing, $561 for this type of booking. Now, remember, this is one booking. That's it. So, I mean, if you imagine your financial freedom, and if all you need is an extra $500 for your financial freedom, go book a honeymoon and you're set. You've got that extra $500 in your wallet. So that's pretty great. Now, it even gets more great. Let's go to this next one. This is really great. The group cruises. I know we talked about those just a little bit. But a 5-day group cruise, a family reunion books 20 cabins for a Western Caribbean cruise in this example. Now, it doesn't even have to be a family reunion. It can be, you can have, 5 people from a church group, 10 people from a sporting event, a sports team, and the rest of them from a sorority. You can kind of mix and match and build your own group. But if you get 20 cabins, which is 40 people, 2 people per cabin for a group cruise. Now, this one will obviously take a little bit longer because you're inputting 40 names. But even still, it's not going to take a whole lot of your time, maybe 10 hours, maybe. And you could earn over $2,000, $2,240. And that's for one booking. I know many, many people who don't even make that in a month. So if you can make one group cruise booking per month, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So I'm happy about those wages, I'll tell you what. I always love booking cruises. They're fun. Now, aside from travel that your customers can do, you obviously can also travel as a travel agent, and you can travel at better rates and really great benefits. And we're able to educate ourselves by taking trips. It really is like research for your business when you travel, and it really just puts you in a better position, to appear professional because, obviously if you're using your own product, people will be more likely to use your product as well. We are able to get vendor-specific certifications, like I just completed one for Marriott training. And for doing that, you get amazing discounted rates on travel with Marriott hotels. And I also completed Princess Cruise Line. This one is my favorite. I just booked my cruise. It's actually for Western Caribbean. And it was a free cruise for myself and a guest. And I could choose whatever location they offer. And that was just for completing their training, which was a free training. So there are a lot of great perks for your own travel as a travel agent. We also have these wonderful things called InteleTravel FAM trips. FAM stands for familiarization. And what this is, it's where, so like this example here is a cruise line. This cruise line wants us to come onto their ship so we can be better aware of what they have to offer, what amenities are on the ship, what their pool looks like, what the food is like, the layout of the ship, all these kind of things they want us to know so that we are able to better sell it to our customers. Because if we're more familiar with something, we're obviously, more likely to sell that. So we have these FAM trips, and they're heavily discounted, and they're strictly for travel agents, only for travel agents. And sometimes you can take a guest on those as well. Now, for this one, it's a 2-day Bahamas cruise. And hold on, let me hand her. Sorry about that. So for this one is coming up in 2018. It's a 2-day Bahama cruise. And for this, if you choose to go on this one, your ocean view room is $289. If you choose a balcony, why wouldn't you? It's $329. So this is the rate for the entire cruise. It's not per day or anything like that. That's for the whole thing. And you just travel like a normal tourist would on the boat and enjoy your time there, but you enjoy it even more because you're getting at a better rate. Now, InteleTravel does have 3 fantastic guarantees. This first one I want to talk about is really great for you and your customer. This is the best travel price guarantee. Now, what this means is, let's say you did book that cruise, that trip for your honeymoon to Cancun. So you book that trip to Cancun, and a few days later, or a week later, or whenever later, you or your customer find that exact same trip at a better price some other place. So if we cannot beat that price, InteleTravel will give your customer a credit for the difference plus 10% to use on any future travel booked through you. So that's pretty great, because not only will they get the credit to use next time, but they're going to book with you because they want to use the credit. So, it's kind of connected to you. So that's really great. You'll have a repeat customer. Another guarantee we have is the no questions asked 100% money back guarantee. Now, we hear this all the time. I know. And when I first thought about joining this company, I was like, well, there is a guarantee, but the way this guarantee works is if you join the company as an InteleTravel travel agent, and in that first 30 days, if you decide it's just not for you for whatever reason, all you have to do is call or email and let InteleTravel know that you'd like to cancel your enrollment, and you get 100% of your enrollment fee back. No questions asked, you just get it back. So really the worst thing, this is kind of how I viewed it when I first started, because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be good at this or if it's, for me. But I thought the worst that could happen is I sign up, I get my training as a travel agent for, 29 days, and then I quit before day 30. And then basically I would get free travel agent training. Well, that's really what got me to sign up, I'll be honest, because I just wasn't sure I could do it. Turns out I can, and I love it, so I'm happy that I did sign up. But when that 30 days rolled around, I wasn't even going to quit. I was in it, I was happy, and I've never looked back, and I'm so glad that I'm doing this. It's a fantastic business for me to do at home. This third guarantee is a risk-free profit guarantee. Now what this one means is if you enroll as a travel agent and you work your business for a year, if for whatever reason at the end of that year you haven't made more money or saved more money on your own travel than you have put in for monthly fees, InteleTravel will send you a check for the difference. So they guarantee you that you will not lose money in your first year as a travel agent. Now that's pretty special if you ask me, because I don't know any business that guarantees you to be profitable in your first year. I think the statistic is 3 to 5 years to become profitable in a business. Well, InteleTravel guarantees that you will not lose money in your first year. So that's definitely something to think about and remember and use if it need be. But from what I hear, they have never had to pay this this guarantee out because everyone always makes more. So that's really great. Now tonight, that's the travel side of our presentation. Now I would like to continue on with Mr. David Felger. He's going to talk about our marketing compensation plan that is with Plannet Marketing. Because like I mentioned earlier, Plannet Marketing and InteleTravel work hand in hand. So I'm going to introduce Mr. David Felger. He is also a gold builder in the company, and you'll learn a little bit more about what that means in a moment. But he is a hardworking father. He's a fantastic man working a full-time job in addition to this business, being very successful in both of them. He's very knowledgeable on the Plannet Marketing compensation plan. And so I always love to listen to him explain it because he explains it really well and makes it really clear to anyone looking into it. So he does, like I say, have all the information. He's fun to work with, and I'd like to hand it over to Mr. David Felger to talk about the Plannet Marketing compensation plan.
Well, thank you very much, Kenzie. I would like to throw it right back to you, giving us all that wonderful information on the travel side. Every time I hear that, I either want to take a trip or go find somebody to book a trip for them. And either of them would be enjoyable for them, especially going on one right about now. Sort of cold out in Ohio where I'm at. Again, Kenzie said, my name is David Felger. I am a gold builder in Plannet Marketing. I am a father of 4. I also work a full-time job at a factory here in over there in Findlay, Ohio, Whirlpool, making dishwashers for a living. Again, this was something I ran across this opportunity through a friend of mine that was having a blast with this industry. And, I looked into it and finally saw something that freed me to the point where I wasn't resigned to working 40 or 50 years in a factory until I retired and then struggling on my retirement. This has been able to provide that extra income to give me that comfort, that freedom for not only myself, but my children, and give us a very promising future for that as well. So you've all heard of Mr. Warren Buffett. He says, never rely on a single source of income. You must invest to create a second source. Now, if you don't know who Mr. Warren Buffett is, he is one of the richest men in the world. Personally, I've always been taught to take financial advice from somebody you're willing to trade bank accounts with. Warren Buffett is just that person that I would not mind trading bank accounts with, or even just a portion. I don't mind if he's listening right now. So who are we on the marketing side? We are Plannet Marketing, like we've mentioned before. This is Mr. Donald Bradley. I actually had the privilege of spending a little bit of the weekend with him just this past weekend up in Akron, Ohio. He is the founder and chairman of the board of Plannet Marketing. He is a highly decorated 7-figure earner with over 20 years experience in marketing, sales, and product distribution. He spent the last 12 years in the travel industry. And not only has he been in the industry for so long, but he's been the #1 income earner in multiple companies over and over and over again. He's made 7 figures annually for years and years. So anything that you see in this compensation plan, he's achieved it. So he knows it's possible, and he's been enjoying showing people how they can get there, and he's slowly getting people there as we speak. He actually left his previous project as the #1 income earner, making over $95,000 a month. Now, for you and me, that would be a good year. But again, this was a month. He was making that a month, and he walked away from that because he didn't really appreciate the lack of integrity, the lack of character that the company before that he was in had. He had a higher standard than what he wanted to present to his business partners. So he went out and started his own company, and most companies, or all good companies, are based on solid leadership. Plannet Marketing, we say, is a newly launched company. It is actually a little over 2 years old, about 26 months old. We celebrated our 2-year anniversary on October 26th of this year. We are based in Atlanta, Georgia. And again, the leadership he found is second to none. He went out and found Mr. Andy Kaufman, who was actually retired at the time of Mr. Bradley's vision to launch his company. But being that Mr. Bradley had such a good reputation, he went out and gave Mr. Kaufman a call and had a little conversation with him. And Mr. Kaufman did not hesitate. He said, if there's anybody he would come out of retirement for, it is Mr. Bradley. Again, that reputation was there, the integrity was there, that he wanted to work with Mr. Bradley on this. He has decades of executive management, corporate operations, marketing, and sales experience. He is our president and CEO, if I failed to mention that. He has managed multiple billion-dollar global businesses. Why is that important to us? We are slowly expanding across the globe. We are in over 20 countries as we speak. And, of course, the international experience that he brings has let us rapidly grow to over 20 countries. If you think about it, what company could go out there within the first 2 years, when they expect to make a profit over the first 3 to 5 years? Not only are we turning profit, being that we're a debt-free company, we are in so many countries in the first 2 years of operations. That is an accomplishment in itself. Miss Leanne Treckler, she is our COO. She is the general, so to speak. She is our go-between, the liaison between the field and corporate as far as Plannet Marketing goes. She makes sure we get our answers at all times of the day. We don't think she sleeps half the time or any time, really, being that we're getting answers at 2, 3, 4 in the morning. But Miss Leanne Treckler, she has a heart of gold. She makes sure we are well taken care of. And, they both like to oversee that this company is compliant, because we aren't going to be here today and gone tomorrow. We are following the rules, making sure all of our practices and procedures are in place. We have the highest standards of any marketing company I've ever laid eyes on. They make sure that the ship is righted, so to speak. So let's talk about leveraged income. I go to work. I work my 40 to 60 hours a week, and if I don't go, I don't get paid. That's just sort of how our regular jobs work. This is leveraged income, to where just because you don't show up doesn't mean you don't get paid. So for our direct sales, every time you help somebody start their own travel agency, you earn a $50 direct sale commission. That is something that you did yourself. Now, for every person that they go out and they help sign up a travel agent, help them start their own freedom business, they will earn the $50. And you, as somebody that brought that person originally into the business, will receive a 50% check match on every single person that they bring into this company. Now, a lot of us have referral programs at our jobs, and we could refer them, they get a job, and then that's it. You might get a little, a gift card or a thank you, maybe if you're lucky. If it's small enough business, you might get a little bonus, like a $20 or $30 bonus. But this is saying that you are going to receive a 50% check match for every single commission that they earn. That's very powerful. There's no limit on those. This last little bit here on the leveraged income is about our team bonus. And I'll go over this a little bit more in detail here in a little bit. But this team bonus adds up. This is basically for anybody that comes onto your team, whether you directly or indirectly or have no clue who they are, you will receive a $10 team bonus once you've reached a certain level. And these $10 add up, as you'll see here in a little bit. Again, you see our fine print. Most fine print is sort of scary to look at. Ours is not. Ours is actually quite easy to the eye. It says no limit on direct sales, matches, or team bonuses. And we get paid weekly up front. Every Friday, we receive our pay. So here is our builder program. Mr. Bradley put this in place. Any solid company likes to recognize hard work. And this is saying that once you reach the 3 active travel agent mark, which means you've helped 3 people start their own travel agency, you become a bronze builder. Once you reach the 6 active travel agent mark, you become a silver builder. Once you become a gold builder, means you've brought in 9 active travel agents. And again, this is what you've heard Ms. Kenzie and myself talk about, each of us being. This is basically when you've gone out and earned yourself a pay raise. You can't really earn yourself a pay raise in a job you've been at for a while. You can go in and ask for a raise, and then they'll laugh you out of their office. But this is saying that if you go out and put the work in and you reach that 9 active travel agent mark, you have received that first $10 level of team bonuses. So basically, instead of $50 for a direct sale, you receive $60. Then for that 50% match, instead of $25, you receive $35. And that's when that, for every person beyond that second level that comes on your team, you receive a $10 bill for each person that comes onto your team as a travel agent. You see that next line says 10% match on all personal travel agents' travel commissions. So let's say I bring in Ms. Kenzie King, and I'm a gold builder. She goes out and books that group cruise and makes that $2,200 commission. Me as a gold builder, and the one that brought her into it as a thank you from the company, because without Kenzie, the travel would have never been booked. Without me, Kenzie would have never been into this company. So it's a way of thanking the people that were involved in this company. But I'm going to receive a 10% match on her commission, not from her commission, but from the company, in the amount of $220 on her $2,200 commission. And again, there's no limit on those. Bring on as many travel agents you want, match as many commissions as you want. It is a phenomenal, phenomenal way to earn income. And then also that last bit is a 10% match on personal reps matrix commissions. I'll go over the matrix here in a little bit, but you'll see if I'm matching 10% of all of my personal reps matrix commissions, that as well will add up very quickly. So here's the residual income part, the matrix that I was talking about. You see we have a 3x9 team build matrix. It's a forced matrix. A lot of companies out there, you have to spend time planning and strategizing how you want to place people into your matrix. This takes all the stress and the guesswork out of it. We go from top to bottom, left to right. Basically, you see on the left side here, you have levels 1 through 9. And on the right side of that line is number of personal active travel agents. So let's say, and once you bring in your first 2 active travel agents, you unlock the first 2 levels of the matrix. So you reach that potential of a $48 month payout in residual income. Residual income is that thing that you get paid over and over again for work you did once. So this is saying, and if you look at the bottom there, you see 9 active travel agents. Again, this is where you become a gold builder. You've unlocked the entire potential matrix for yourself. Now, if you look on that, the monthly bonus at $118,000 monthly bonus. Again, this is something that Mr. Bradley has achieved. So he knows it's possible. He knows it's workable. He knows it's achievable. A lot of us are not trained to, or we're trained not to imagine that's possible for us. Why us? Why could we earn that? When we're trained to think, 20, 30 to 50, 60, 90, $100,000 a year is good income. This is something that Mr. Bradley has put in place because he wants to take the ordinary person and give them that chance to make extraordinary money. And this right here is by far the most aggressive compensation plan in the direct sales industry. And he knows it works because he's achieved it. Again, InteleTravel and Plannet Marketing are both debt-free. So again, this money is coming from the profits that we are bringing in. So it's never going to run out. It's built into each payment that is processed in Plannet Marketing and InteleTravel. And I know it looks like a lot of numbers. If you want to ask some questions about this afterwards, feel free, please. Basically, the main thing is you see that once you hit that 9 active ITA mark, you unlock the whole compensation plan. And think about this. If you get this 10% right and you bring, that's one thing. This is a team build matrix. I said that once, but it's a team build matrix. You don't do this by yourself. This is once your team starts to bring in people and your team starts to grow and expand. And once that momentum hits, this will grow very rapidly. We are only 20,000 agents strong in the matter of 2 years. I say only lightly because that's actually, we've surpassed levels that most companies take 5 to 10 years to reach. Imagine being one of the first 20,000 agents, first 25,000 agents in Mary Kay, in Tupperware, in Amway, one of those big, the Avon companies, one of the big companies that are still around today that have been years and years since they've started. They're sitting there making that residual income still because they were one of the first people in this business. This is what we are looking at right now. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You hear that a lot, but the numbers don't lie. This is exactly what you're looking at. Imagine getting that matrix 10% right. You're looking at about $1,100 a month bonus on top of everything else. It's very good. Sorry, 11,000. All right. Sorry, computer's a little slow right now. Here we go. All right, so this is Mr. Bradley's baby. This is something that he brought with him, but he tweaked the numbers to make sure everything was precise and even and going to work out the way he planned it. This is his director program. This is saying that once you reach that 100 active travel agent mark, you become a one-star director. As a one-star director, you start to receive that second level $10 bonuses. And you also receive a $500 bonus every month. Let's see here. So, let me back up here. Bear with me here. Technical difficulties. Here we go. All right. So you see, as a one-star director, you start to receive that $500 bonus, and this is on top of everything else. As a one-star director, you also are guaranteed a monthly income of $1,000. So this is saying that if all of your other commissions add up to $800, Plannet Marketing will cut you a check for the difference in $200 and bring you whole to $1,000. So basically, once you reach that one-star director level, you have guaranteed yourself a $12,000 annual raise, $12,000 annual raise. You yourself have earned that with the help of your team. Again, this is not a individual accomplishment. This is a team accomplishment, but you are the one getting credit for it because you are the one that helped initiate this team build. And you see we have 1 through 9 stars. Mr. Bradley did touch on it this past weekend that if you look real close, you can actually see a 10th star up there. And he, of course, was, joshing around, but there he has unofficially announced that there is a 10th star just waiting in the wings once somebody reaches that 6, 7, 8, 9 star level. As a 2-star director, you receive a $1,000 bonus every month, and you also start to receive that third $10 level of team bonuses. So instead of $70 as a one-star director for every direct sale commission, you start to receive $80 for direct sales. Instead of $25 for your match, you start to receive $55 for a match. And then for every person that falls on your team, you receive $30, 3 levels of $10 bonuses. A good way to think about this is for every person that comes into the business, there's a cookie jar of 6 $10 bills that go on the table every time. As a gold biller, you get to go up and grab one $10 bill. As a director, one-star director, you get to go up and grab 2 $10 bills, and so on and so forth. We have one 5-star director. Whenever we give this example, we basically say that our 5-star director, Mr. Shedrick White, the number 1 income earner in our company right now, he just goes up and takes the whole cookie jar and just walks away with it. So if you think about it like that, it's very powerful to think of every time that you bring somebody on, you have the potential of making $110 every time you bring them on as a 5-star director. And you see the bonuses. 3-star directors receive $2,000 every month, which my personal mentor and good friend, Miss Cindy Brueggemann, is quickly approaching that 3-star mark in 500 active travel agents. We have, I believe, 4. We just had a 5th. We just had a 5th 4-star director break. Again, think of the potential. If we are 2 years old, we have 5 4-star directors. The potential is amazing for where we could be. Anybody getting into the company now, as these 4 and 5-star directors climb, the people getting in now are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4-star directors 5 years down the road, as long as you put the work in. Again, this is a work from home business. There is no free ride, but the leadership is there. It is the top of the top leadership as far as personal development, team building, just giving you anything you need to understand how to build your business. And again, you see those numbers. Mr. Bradley has achieved all of this. He knows it works. He knows it's there. We are close to breaking our first millionaire in Mr. Shedrick White. And we're thinking that's going to happen in the next month or so. But that's very exciting stuff for our company. As you see, we have a rings and Rolex program here. And Mr. Bradley just likes to, again, recognize hard work where it's due. As a sapphire ring wearer, and one of our coaches, Coach Tiffany McIntosh, and her husband, Calvin, wear this sapphire ring. This indicates earnings of $100,000 annually, or $8,333 a month consecutively in 2 months, puts you on track to make 6 figures. Our coach, Miss J.P. Watkins, is a 4-star director, member of the Chairman's Council, and she sports that ruby ring, indicating earnings of $250,000 annually. Mr. Shedrick White, our one and only 5-star director, wears that $500,000 annual earning rate ring, the diamond ring, and he actually got to design that, being that he was the first one that donned it, and he got presented that at our conference this past April in Vegas, which was quite a sight to be seen. He also received the first Rolex watch handed out, that diamond encrusted Rolex you see there. I've talked to a few people in the business, and some people like watches, some people don't. Those of us that have never really been fond of watches, it's something that we're willing to do for our team just to make sure everybody knows what time it is. Somebody has to wear the watch. I will wear the watch, in honor of my team, just to make sure they understand what time it is. And you see the double diamond ring indicates earnings of $1 million annually. Again, Mr. Shedrick White is fast approaching that mark. And Mr. Bradley, when he started this marketing company, his goal is to make 100 millionaires. And if we're already at the point where we are right now, within 2 years, that is by far going to be achieved over the next 10 to 15 years. So how much does it cost to get started? So you heard Miss Kenzie earlier talk about the travel agency. If you want to come in and book nothing but travel, you don't mind not partaking in the Plannet Marketing side, you can book just travel as an InteleTravel travel agent. That's perfectly fine. As a travel agent, it costs $179.95 to enroll, and then $39.95 a month for all your support, all your training, your benefits, your personalized website, your errors and omissions insurance, everything that it costs to run a business. So $39.95 a month overhead. And if you think about it, compared to a traditional business, that is a huge, huge savings. And again, keep in mind the guarantees apply to that also, that 30-day money-back guarantee and that 1-year profit guarantee. If you see the potential in the Plannet Marketing Rep, it is $19.95 to enroll and $19.95 a month. If you think about it, we have 2 businesses. So if you imagine a pile of money on the floor, do you want to take some of that money or do you want to take all of that money? The way we look at it is if you are looking to make an additional income, we look at a hybrid or investing in both sides of this so that you aren't leaving any potential money on the table. And we help you get started with both sides. It's a great opportunity to really put yourself in a position to live that freedom, that personal freedom, that time freedom that you've been wanting to get. And then financially, it frees you as well. But then the combination of the two is just on the right side. It's $199.90 to enroll and then $59.90 a month or $2 a day. Think about that. $2 a day to keep a potential 6-figure, possibly 7-figure income from your home. Don't let a 3-digit investment, a $2 daily overhead, stop you from possibly the biggest blessing of your lives. So again, Plannet Marketing is also a turnkey business. We have all the tools ready for you from the moment you enroll, a website to track your business. We also have a mobile app to help grow your business instantly. We have training all around all of our countries that we're in. We have online training, web calls. There's always something to plug into. We have a whole back office full of videos that you can watch from the past and ones that are newly uploaded as well. We also have live events, conventions. Our next convention is in Baltimore in April of next year. I highly suggest you get out there if you are looking to join us, as it is a very, very powerful, and just the knowledge you receive at these are second to none. It's very priceless. So the Plannet Marketing Pledge is probably my favorite part of this opportunity. This was released back in April at our convention in Vegas as well. And I will read this word for word just because this is in our Plannet Marketing bylaws. This says that when you become a Plannet Marketing Director, you can feel secure in knowing that in the event of your death, the Plannet business you built will outlast you. Your family will still receive your Plannet Marketing weekly commissions, director pay, director bonuses, and monthly residual income. I've never heard of a company that does this. When you work your job and you would happen to pass away, you might have a little insurance or 401k that you could pass down, but they're not going to continue to pay your salary to your family. That's just unheard of. This is saying that this is a marketing business. The way this is set up is if you should happen to pass away, once you reach that director level, the other directors and the chairman's council will wrap their hands around your team and help them continue to build. And so your family, your heirs, on down generations and generations will continue to receive your pay. We like to say, leave a will and not a bill. This is a legacy that you are making in your name for your family. So at this point, we just ask you to make a decision. You're either a 3, 2, or a 1. A 3 is thank you, but no thank you. We understand this is not for everybody, but all we do is ask you to get back with the person that invited you here. Let them know that you're a 3, and then we just ask that you give them the chance to book your travel the next time you choose to go somewhere. Number 2 is you see the potential, you love what you see, but you just have a couple questions. Get with us after we're done here. We would love to get those answered for you. Sometimes your money's a little funny. You just got to wait until your next blessing. We understand that as well. We'll help you plan that out, make sure you have it set to where you are set up, ready to go. We can get you started once that day comes and get you well on your way. Again, let the person know that invited you here that you are a 2. If you're a 1, you are ready to go. You saw the potential on either one side, both sides, and you want to get going. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes to enroll. Get back with the person that sent you here. They can help you every step of the way and get you on with your training and booking trips right away. Really, it's a turnkey business through and through, so it is there for you to succeed. The last little thing we like to leave you with is the journey of 1,000 miles begins with 1 step. People wonder why things don't work for them, and we always ask, well, did you work for it? you have to put the effort into it. If you put the effort into it, we have the leadership that you will succeed. There is no doubt about it. Again, I thank you. I'd like to open it back up for any questions. See here. Kenzie, you got that control of the screen yet?
All right.
There you go.
That was awesome. Thanks, David.
You're welcome.
I love the way you described that. I love the fact that we have that, the pledge to take care of our heirs. That's pretty impressive.
Absolutely.
I love that. So everyone is unmuted right now. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to throw them out right now. And if you're shy and don't want to do it here, you can always get back to the person who sent you here and make sure that those questions are answered for you. Okay. Well, if there's no questions, I really appreciate all of you and your time to come here tonight to learn more about this fantastic business opportunity. David, thanks for Mr. Felger for, making that clear to us how that all works out on the Plannet Marketing side.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. Well, if that's it, then we'll just say goodnight for now. What, David?
I think Tamara had something.
Oh.
Well, I just said it was a really good presentation. Thank you. I've heard it a couple times, but you always catch something new.
That's true. I find that too. Especially if you watch different people, we all kind of have a little bit different take on it. Same information, but a little bit different presentation. So thank you.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, everyone. Well, good night. Merry Christmas. We won't be doing another webinar until after Christmas. So thanks for, on Christmas Day, huh, David?
Well,
we might not do it Christmas Day.
We'll have to see.
You never know. All right, everyone. You guys all take care. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we will hopefully be seeing all of you on our team very shortly.
Merry Christmas. Good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.